This has to be the most awesome microphone I have ever used. Absolutely amazing machine here. Really, really excited to tell you all about it. Hey everyone, Dave K here, and today I am reviewing the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Check this thing out, absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, you gotta see this one. So fantastic. Came in this box here. So it came in a box that looked just like this. And I've opened the box and you can see inside you've got the microphone, you've got the battery there, you've got the charger and all the stuff, as well as that little direction booklet here. We are gonna check it all out. So much to see and do on this one. Absolutely amazingly excited for this one. Wow. So first of all, huge shout out to my buddy Chris. Chris got me this microphone for my birthday. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. Absolutely love this one. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he plays some games. So if you're looking for some more cool gaming content, got some Final Fantasy games on there as well. Make sure you check him out. I will include his channel here in the cards. So getting started with this microphone here, you can see I've got the mic, I've got the batteries, I've got the wire, I've got that little instruction booklet. I've got it all right here. You know, it's all really included on this one. Really, really excited to show you this one. Absolutely amazing stuff. It does have a charger cable as well, actually. I've already opened it in a sense, but I want to go back through it here with you and be able to show you all the components of it. So you can see, of course, here you have the microphone. Absolutely beautiful. This microphone is going to be amazing for me. It's going to be fantastic. Trying to be really, really careful with it. It is a directional microphone and it has so many amazing features. If you see on the back of the microphone there, it's got the sort of changing the background noise volume and changing the input volume. You got a whole bunch of different functionality I have yet to really fully understand, but there's a lot of options. Now, you'll also see on the front here, there's these two latches, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and put in that battery. Now, a challenge I run into putting in the battery, and in case you get one of these, I want to call this out to you just so you know. There's a little kind of clip in there that's, I imagine, holds the battery secure, but it makes you a little bit, I guess, worried as you're putting the battery in. You're like, okay, it kind of hesitates as the battery's going in. So you just have to push it a little bit harder, but don't have to worry about it. Again, I was very gentle, if you will, very fragile with it because I didn't want to break it. It's so amazing. But just keep that in mind. Is there's a little clip in there you'll have to push past. Now, the way I know that this battery goes in is if you look at the right side. If I'm looking at the microphone like this, it's on my right side. There's a little bar there, and that little bar corresponds with, on the battery, there's this little open area, if you will. And that open area kind of goes all the way down on one side and it kind of blocks off on the other side. So I figure that blocked off side is the far end here, the end closest to me. And the open side can go and be pushed into the microphone. And again, you'll see it kind of sticks out, the battery there, unless I push it past that clip. So you have to put a little bit more force to push it past that clip. And it clips closed. But it's absolutely amazing. Look at this thing. It is definitely larger than my other microphone. And it'll be a lot more visible for sure, but it's going to be amazing quality. I'm looking forward to showing you that as well, so you're going to love it. But it's going to be awesome for all the videos. And I'm thinking about, too, maybe the potential of being able to use it here if I'm streaming or something along those lines, to be able to use it for studio stuff with the camera right here, like videos like this one, and also being able to use it for streaming when I'm playing games or when we're just chatting on stream, being able to use this here. I think that'd be absolutely amazing. So I might get a converter for that so I can use it for that, but absolutely amazing. So many functions for this one, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you. And thank you again, Chris, for getting me this one. Whoa, it is fantastic. Now, one of the biggest challenges that I ran into with the Rode microphone here is the instruction booklet. If you open up the instruction booklet, you'll find there's not a whole lot of information in here. You know, they don't really give you a rundown. I was trying to figure out how to put the battery in to make sure I was doing it right, but it doesn't really say how to put the battery in or that sort of thing. It lets you know when it's charged or what type of battery you're using, but it doesn't really say anything about the fact that that clip is inside the battery pack and you kind of need to push past it. So the instructions, if you will, are a little light, a little thin, but that being said, there's so many videos out there that people will give you on how to set up your microphone, that kind of thing, and hopefully I can share some of that with you too. If you have any questions about it, by the way, or anything like that, let me know in the comments below, and I'm happy to see if I can answer those questions for you. But in terms of the actual instruction booklet that I have here, there's not a whole bunch of information sitting in that instruction booklet. That being said, if you look at the instruction booklet, there is some information regarding these different buttons on the back. So as I told you, on the back you've got kind of that high high pass filter. So I can sort of tune out, if you will, the humming noises in the background. So let's say there's a monorail going by, or there's a tram going by. I should be able to press that button, utilize that button to tune out some of the background noise. That other button on there, the decibel button, they're referring to it here as the output gain control button. And really what it is it determines how much or how little volume it wants to take in from my speaking. So if I'm speaking very quietly, I can turn it up, or if I'm speaking very loudly, I can turn it down. You may have heard this in one of Mike's videos in the past, where he had it on the higher setting, and it sounded like it was very, the gain was very high. You could kind of tell, because it kind of had that top, what would you call it, scratchiness almost. So maybe I'll even test it out with that function as well, although I don't know if that would sound good here on this video. But there's so many options here. You got the high frequency boost, tells you about the safety channel, and all kinds of other information right here on that instruction booklet. And it's also printed in a variety of languages. So if you're getting one of these and you're like, well, do they have it in my language? Chances are it is on your language on here, but if it's not, again, I'm sure you can find some information online as well. But overall, really excited to get this one set up on my camera here, and really excited to show you how it works. Again, I showed you kind of what it looks like, and I can compare that to my other microphone as well. It looks like maybe it's about 2 or 3 times as long. The height is probably the same or maybe even shorter, but it's a lot longer in the front. So it's got that going for it. And the battery charger I've already plugged into my wall. So the battery, it actually just goes right into the machine here, and then I just plug the whole microphone into the wall, and I'll leave it back there charging. And that's how I charge the battery. But overall, I'll plug this microphone sort of outlet here, or this microphone jack, if you will, into the microphone, and I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the camera as well, and together we can see how this one sounds. So really, really excited for that one. Now, one thing that's different for me with this microphone versus my microphone that I'm currently using is the power button. And I have to be careful of the power button. It's going to be a little bit tricky, where I have to remember to turn on the microphone when I want to use it. Otherwise, I'll have no audio. And I have to remember to turn off the microphone when I'm not using it. Otherwise, I'll have no battery in my microphone. So 2 things for me to keep in mind on that one, whereas this one just kind of uses the battery from the camera, I imagine, to pick up that audio. So something I'm going to have to keep in mind on that one, make sure I continue to do that. Turn on the audio, turn off the audio. Just like I turn on the camera, I want to turn on the audio as well. But either way, really, really excited for this one. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and let us see together how it sounds. And I have done some camera surgery, if you will, here. I've changed over the microphones on my camera, and now you can hear me on that brand new Rode microphone. So just to give you an idea, physically, size-wise, the difference in these microphones, here's the old microphone that I used. It's kind of got this fuzzy thing on the end here, which I always keep on there, but you can see the actual microphone inside is just this tiny little thing, but this kind of larger piece here is supposed to help with the wind and with the sound. So you can see it's actually, it looks like it's a little bit taller than the microphone that I'm using. That being said, the microphone that I have now, the Rode microphone, sits a lot taller because of that kind of base that it's on. So this kind of sits directly on that little mount, whereas the other one you saw, I was holding that whole kind of lower handle piece. So that's the difference on that one height-wise. So it is a bit of a difference height-wise once you actually secure it to the camera. But just in terms of the microphones themselves, it does seem like it's a little bit smaller if you're looking at the size of the, what we call the windsock here, again, to kind of prevent that wind or other noises from getting into this one. I'm sure the abilities of the Rode microphone here to keep that background noise out is going to be so much better. So really excited to test out in the parks too, or in different locations that I go to, what it sounds like with the background noise going around versus just the audio listening to me. But overall, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, lengthwise, you can see a big difference, right? When I was holding up the other microphone, it would go out to maybe about here, whereas this one's a lot shorter. So this one does stick out more towards me quite a bit, but that's not really a problem at all, especially since the lens of the camera itself actually sticks out quite a bit as well. I don't think the microphone, it does go a little bit further out than the lens, if you will, but it's not too much further out. And it's not really like you need that much space, or you need to narrow the space between me and the lens anyways. You know, I do need a lot of space just to be able to get a good zoom on my own face. So it's not preventing me, that length on the camera is not preventing me from being able to do anything with it, if you will. Now, another thing I want to test out is some of those functions on the back of the microphone. Now, you'll know the microphone is on when there's that blue button lit up. I had to hold down the power button for a couple seconds to make sure the microphone actually turned on. I clicked the power button a couple times, but you kind of have to, it seems like you kind of have to hold it down for a couple seconds to make sure it actually works and make sure it's actually recording and live, that kind of thing. And I'm going to test out that functionality on the back too, and we can see how that sounds. And I'm now testing that high pass filter at 75 Hertz. So it should tune out background sounds that are too low in terms of volume. So it's really low sounding noise, not like my voice obviously, but far lower sounding than that. Maybe an engine or something along those lines. it should tune that out. I'm not sure if it sounds any different. We'll watch this back and see how it sounds, but I'm looking forward to hearing it. And I'm going to test that 150 hertz button as well. So I'm going to press that one now, and let's see how it sounds. Now testing that 150 hertz option, you can hear what it sounds like when it's tuning out those higher sounds. I think I should probably still be audible throughout this entire thing, but it should tune out more consistent sounds that are a little bit higher pitched. So instead of an engine, maybe a computer whirring or something along those lines. Don't know if you can hear one of those, but if you can, maybe they tuned it out. We'll see. Now I'm going to go ahead and set that one back to a normal setting and see if I can adjust the output gain. So let's see if this one sounds audible. Now, note on this one is if this one doesn't sound good, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So just keep that in mind. If this doesn't sound, if it sounds like it'd be tough to listen to on your end, I might not include it. But just to give you an idea what that sounds like. And I'm now testing the +20 output feature. Now I'm talking a lot more quietly, almost whispering on this one, because I'm worried that it's going to be extremely loud. But I wanted to test it out and show you what that sounds like, because it's really cool to see all the functionality that this microphone has. It's absolutely amazing, the audio quality, sound, and all these features that it has built into. I'm sure it's going to take me a while to get all the features down, but overall I'm super excited for it. Now let's try that -10 output. And now testing the -10 output. Hopefully you can still hear me on this one, but just giving you an idea what that sounds like as well. Perhaps if you're speaking very closely to the microphone, if you're holding it up to your face, this may be a good functionality to use. But we'll see how all that goes in the future. There's so many options for this microphone. I'm so excited for it. Now back on a regular setting on the microphone, so you should be able to hear me and it should sound perfect and awesome. Absolutely love this microphone. So much functionality and such amazing quality on the sound. I absolutely love it. Again, huge shout out to Chris. Thank you so much for this microphone. And if you are considering this microphone, feel free to check out the description below. I will have some links down there with all of my tech equipment. I have the old microphone, all that other stuff there, and I will go ahead and include this new microphone in that description as well. So make sure you check that out if you're looking for new microphones, that kind of thing. There's also, you'll see my other videos are linked in the descriptions as well. So thanks so much for being a part of the adventures with me. What did you think of this review? Do you like to hear about the technology that I'm using and how it's going? I'm glad to be able to share a variety of different types of adventures with you and sort of share with you and show you how all that goes. Now, one thing I want to point out is if you didn't hear what it sounded like at +20 or at -10, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and tack all of those audio sounds at the end of the video, and you'll be able to listen to how all that sounds. And if anyone's like, well, I don't want to hear that, I think it's going to be too loud or whatever, and it's going to be disturbing, if you will, then they can always tune it out by the end of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and save those till the end of the video. So if you want to go back and hear those, in case they didn't sound reasonable throughout the video. They might have sounded fine. I'm just kind of recording this both ways. If you already heard it, then great, and if you didn't, it's coming right up. But thanks so much for being a part of the adventures with me. Let me know what you thought of this. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you check out the description if you're looking for a microphone as well. Thanks so much for being a part of the fun with me today. Looking forward to sharing so many more fun adventures with you real soon. I'm going to be able to do all kinds of cool stuff. I want to get some gaming streaming going. You know, I've been talking a lot about gaming, and I'm like, you know, I really do want to get back to some gaming. I know some people talked about Fortnite Fridays. I'm like, maybe that'll be a thing too that we can bring back to maybe the YouTube as well as on Twitch, but definitely going to keep streaming on Twitch and building up that schedule. So really looking forward to that. Again, thank you so much for being a part of the adventures with me. If you haven't already, for more fun, family-friendly adventures, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay informed. And until next time, play on. Hey everyone, Dave K here, and today I am reviewing the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Look at this thing. And I'm now testing that high-pass filter at that 75 megahertz level, I believe. Megahertz? Is it megahertz?